What really separates champions from almost champions isn't talent. It's how they handle pressure when everyone is watching. Today, I'm going to help you do just that.
Hello, and thank you for joining the Champion Within podcast, your premier go-to spot for unlocking your winning mindset. Whether you're an athlete looking to elevate your game to the next level, a coach leading the charge, an enthusiastic parent cheering from the sidelines, or an educator molding young minds, the Champion Within podcast episodes are packed with value, sharing the tools and strategies to unlock your potential and rise to new heights. Hosted by mentor, coach, and mindset leader Kate McCauley. Let's sit back and enjoy today's episode while discovering your champion within. And now, here's Kate.
You know, on Speedy Sundays, I pretend that I'm sending out some text messages to some different people. Today, let's pretend that I have the number for Ilia Malinin. We're all obsessed with him now. We were rooting for him, the quad god, the guy who attempts what most skaters wouldn't even consider. After everyone's been obsessed with this figure skating 2026 Olympics for so many different reasons, here's what I would text him. There's a few texts going out, but here's the first one. Ilia, talent didn't fail you. Pressure revealed the next level. End text. That's exactly what the Olympics do. They don't test your jumps. They test your nervous system. Sure, you need to be good, obviously. You got to land those jumps, and you can do that 1,000 times in practice. You can dominate all season in the competitions. But when the world is watching and gold feels expected, that's a completely different environment. Preparation does not make you immune to the pressure. Expectations, they multiply this pressure. That pressure is going to be magnified, and your thoughts are magnified because of that pressure. Here's the second text that I would be sending to him. Execution under scrutiny is a different skill than execution in comfort. Let that sink in. And how does that apply to your life? Whether you're an athlete, a coach, maybe it's at work, your personal life. There are so many different athletes and leaders who are getting it wrong. They're training the mechanics only. They train the strategy. They train those physical reps. I actually heard him on an interview saying, I was training harder. But they don't train their response to that expectation, that noise that gets louder and louder when the stages get bigger and bigger. They don't train what to do with that public visibility. And then they're shocked, and everyone else is shocked who's watching when the performance drops. When you fall not once, but twice. And pressure doesn't create the cracks. It exposes the ones that you haven't trained. Here's another text I'd be sending out to him. Your career isn't defined by falling. It's defined by what you build after falling. I love the example of thinking about this as a kid on a playground. Of course, it's very different than this figure skating thing, but right now, think about a little kid on a playground, whether it was you or just a kid at a playground that you're paying attention to. A kid falls. They're running around on the mulch. They slip, they fall. What do? Some of you are saying right now, they get back up. They hop back up. Somebody else is saying, well, maybe someone comes over and helps them. Okay. Those are probably the two options that are coming into your brain right now, right? Little kids aren't just going to lay there and quit. They hop back up. It's okay if a friend reaches out a hand and helps them, or someone else guides them to get back up. Let's go back to this Olympian example here. When you're known as the quad god and you don't deliver on the biggest stage, that feels personal, not just a mistake. It's a threat to your identity. This is where growth mindset has to come in. It stops being a quote on Instagram and it becomes real. You have to lean into this. I know it doesn't feel good. Of course it doesn't feel good. We all wanted him to win. Of course he wanted to win. Experiencing this on a global stage forces this question. Is your identity built on outcomes or on standards. If one bad performance or one bad game wrecks you, your identity is fragile. If one mistake spirals into 5, if you get into a slump for the next 3 games, your competitive reset and nervous system isn't trained. If that's happening for you, for your teams, it is fixable. For my corporate leaders and staff who are listening, this is the same in boardrooms. High-performing teams rehearse presentations. You are rehearsing the pitches. You're practicing them with me. I know you're rehearsing that strategy because you tell me all about it. But if you've never trained emotional regulation under pressure, your decision-making is going to collapse when the stakes rise. If you're not training your team, whether it's an athletic team or a corporate team, to handle scrutiny, conflict, expectation, and recovery, you're not training performance. You're training in the comfort zone. Isn't it so nice and comfy there? Get out of the comfort zone. Here's the part that really hit me during these Olympics. I'm watching it, obsessed with all of this and thinking, wow, we could have done this together. We could have done that. But what really hit me was when my phone lit up, started blowing up with texts, messages, Instagram DMs from real coaches and athletes that I work with now or have previously worked with saying, I'm watching and instantly thinking, these athletes need you. Another one said, the nerves and anxiety got the best of them. One that I absolutely loved, just saying, if Ilia had you, this might be different. This one might have stayed with me the most, a screenshot after he fell twice saying, this is exactly what you do and what everyone needs. I saw this headline, and this was in the screenshot. Negative thoughts filled his head in moments before he fell twice in the Olympic figure skating finals. See, that's it. It's not lack of talent, not lack of physical preparation. Of course, they're practicing the physical. Everyone is. It's negative thoughts at the wrong time and not knowing how to move through them to the next movement. That's the mental work. That's mental conditioning. The final text that I would send him, pressure didn't break you. It upgraded the work you need to do. I'm here for it. Let's get those mental reps in. End text. I would leave it up to him to respond because you have to decide that this is something that you want to do. Everyone is talking about mindset nights and mental performance. They're buzzwords everywhere, but the athlete, the coaches, the teams, you need to be in on it and do the work just as much as you're going to the weight room. You're putting in time physically at practice and after practice on your own. The Olympics or any big competition you're in, they are not just going to crown the most talented. It is going to reveal the most trained, both physically and mentally under pressure. So to my Olympic hopefuls, to my athletes, to my corporate high performers, to coaches building the next generation physically, to performance brands like Nike investing millions in the physical preparation, if you're not training the mind at the same level as the body, you're leaving medals on the table. To the teams and leaders who are already working with me, you know this isn't motivation. It's trained composure. It's trained resets. It's trained execution under pressure. If you're building athletes or leaders who need to perform when it matters most, reach out to me. Send me the real life text because pressure isn't going anywhere. And neither am I. Let's train for it.
Thank you for hanging out with Kate today. And whether you're going to coach, teach, cheer from the sidelines, or hitting the field yourself, remember, mindset is everything. Don't forget to follow the show for the latest episodes, as we all need a little extra motivation, humor, and sanity in our busy lives. Now, go and unleash your champion within you, one step at a time. We're always rooting for you.